Hey guys, Monday, January 13, 2025. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do today. Before I start, I want to say that in my video that I did yesterday, my weekly forecast, out of all the levels and targets I had, the one that worked out the best with this price gap up, do you imagine which one was it? Because I look at a lot of stuff. It was the Gann speed lines anchoring from the February low, the 611 high. I think that's the August 27 low. Close prices 200%. Guess what that was? 436. So on the Sunday night open, price hit 436 to the T. But again, the 1/4, half, 3/4, 200%. Mathematics, I tell you, it's amazing. Let's look at our Gann square. We hit 436 right here. Very shy off the 1002 high. I would have taken you to 438. We're in this little area right here. We went all the way down, where am I right here? All the way down to 401. We're around here. Back to the 135 degree. And now the question is, are we going to hold this and go back up to 411, 180, 421, 430, 431 and get back here to at least to get to 441? That is the question that everybody wants to know. We can't hold 401. Chances are we're going to get to 391 and 381. What you don't want to see as a bull, take out 371. Because if we go all the way down here, 361, maybe, just maybe, today being a big day, 113. So my timing techniques, one that I'm experimenting, the one I'm experimenting did pick the high of 611. So imagine if it was that accurate getting that high. Now let's see if that technique will work on the June 13th high. So kind of curious to see how that's going to play out. Let's look at our volume real quick and just kind of see what happened here. So far, we did a high 436. We did pierce this area right here, which is 421 to 433. So it was in that ballpark. Now has pulled back. I mean, that's even a harder resistance at 465. But yeah, it's in this area right here. That's on the monthly market profile. We look at our weekly. You can see that this area right here is very interesting. Right here, it pierced it. Actually, if you even want to even narrow it even better, that's like it, and it's in that ballpark. Anywhere between, you could say 445 to 421, and now it has pulled back in here, pretty much filling the gap. So now another question is, do we fill the gap and tomorrow, Tuesday, continue pushing higher? That all depends if the bottom feeders keep showing up, buying it and holding that level now that the gap is filled. So when that gap, and this is something maybe to apply it in the future. Anytime we're in this season again next year, if you got some price gaps, chances are very close to this area or whatever that area is, sometimes they probably want to fill it before they want to go higher. I know we have, let's see, do I have it here? Like price gaps. No, we got a bunch. not a bunch, but we got two. We got 208 to 197, and we got 190. I don't know, maybe 184. So these two levels right here. And we've had a couple here in this area, but then they get filled right away. So anyway, I got sidetracked there. Let's go into the monthly, daily now. And you can see that this area right here, there's a lot of resistance in this area right here. So bears could, see that. And now, right now, we are, you could say, below the value area high. But we are above the anchored VWAPs. This is another value area high, which is 672, but we're not there yet. But this is the area I was kind of watching that maybe could have a tough time. And now it's pulling in even more. So the gap is filled, but now it wants to dig in deeper. So the bears are really piling in. The Black Widow woke up. If you were to ask me, let's look at our simple glance chart. I'll take my time here because, this is important now. This is where, things get really, I think this is the fun part of trading. This kind of stuff right here. So right now, I want you to focus on this part right here on the cloud. That was 437 around there, in that ballpark right there. You do a line right here across. Look at that. On top of that, you got TD9 kicked in for the month of January, a 9th candle. One of his counting systems kicked in. So something to think about. Typically, his counting systems are where you hit 9 or 13. That could be a possible turning point. I'm saying it's still, the trend is up, as you can see. Linear regression channels are pointing higher. The monthly is just kind of giving you be careful. On the weekly, you can see that we didn't kiss the linear regression channel. It's somewhere around 441, but we're getting close. MACD is positive. Market sentiment is up. You are above the 200. Another level to watch was 477, which was right here. We're not even there yet. Future on the cloud looks positive. Short-term time frame. Midterm, short-term, you're above the cloud, which is bullish. It's speaking in the future that is still positive. The daily, you didn't kiss the regression channel, but however, it's all pointing up. PPS buy signals on all time frames. So very positive. Now, the techniques I showed you on the video of yesterday, you couldn't tell if this could be a possible turning point. So we're just dealing with probabilities here. So let's look at the bigger picture here, which is now I'm zooming out. I was fractal from here to here. Now that we've taken out this high and we're kind of going here, we got to zoom out. Now we got to take our 1002 and our 144 low, and this is now the war zone. This is where we're going to start forecasting and kind of see. So if you look to your left, right here, you can see that we have a target, a possible target of 473 if it's going to push higher. So that's something you want to already mark on your trading software, that level. You can see that there's pivots there, there's some pivots there. It's all lining up there. So that's like the biggest one that jumps out at me, 474 right there. Everything else, it's already above it. So that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to show you is the fractals of Gann's retracement. I'll start off with the 1002 and 152 high. Look at that. These are fractals. So your midpoint is your strongest point right here. Prices always like to be attracted right back to the center. This is one of Gann's theory. So then from 1002 high to the 152 low, if there is some kind of target that you have long term, you always want to go halfway into that. And that's your 577. If it gets to get there and you're long from this area right here, I will at least take half of it off or lock in profits. But always remember your midpoint from the most important swing points. And that's 577. So that's a number that now it's embedded in my head now that we looks like things want to go higher. But what I really wanted to show you is that the 33.3, which is Gann fractal numbers, was 435. Look at that. On a price gap, it just stalled right there. Those are the fascinating things about trading. You can see that it was chopping around here, and next one will be the 37.5. That's 471, and then your midpoint. So these are this is the most important one. And if you wanted to go now to the low, you know, I always find that number fascinating, that 144 of that 2020 low. It's very interesting. At 144 all the way to the 1002 of August 23rd. Look where it takes you here. Shy of 430, which is a 66.7 retracement level. Here's to buy all that, and then, you know, it's pulling back, so you pretty much fill the gap. And it's not perfect, and you know the reason why it's perfect? You don't catch these because you need to hug in more these levels right here. If you get a swing point from here to here, I bet you catch that one. Because you're zooming in the battle zone, and this is your range. So if you get these two right, all these will show up, even this one. If you really wanted to lock these ones really good, you get it from here to here. So something to ponder. Let's look at our APF. And so far, you pierced the 75. As you can see, I'm already updating my charts. I'm already zooming out because things are getting a little more interesting. So let's get closer here. We already pierced our 75. This will probably be an area of interest if we get up there. Let's see what else we got here. What did I update? Extension targets. This is something I just added. Now that we have it defined. Swing low, swing high, swing low, big swings. Now we can start looking into the future. We just hit our 150 at 433. Went a little higher, 436. Now pulled back, finding support at the 125, which is at 392. So let's see if that holds. But these are big levels. Because now we're playing with the big levels, the big boys. This is your 100%. So you can see that once we went up here, we kissed it, fail, kissed it, fail. Everybody knows that level. And then we went straight to the 125. Pierced it, really got really wild. And then we shot up even to the 150. So now I'm starting to... the one I haven't updated is my FT levels. This is DNA of nat gas. So this one I'm going to update today and then see if there's anything interesting here at this level on the FT levels. I haven't updated that, but I think I need to. The 3-5 Gann grid. This is the second impulse, not the first one. The second one. And when I'm talking about the first, this was your first impulse from the 152 low. Boom, pushback, first impulse. I did a Gann grid on that, but now it's not working. But then your second one was this one. So this is a 3-5 high, measured at the 25%. And then you shoot out all these cycles, and your box ends somewhere around 416. Now guess where we stalled? You see that? Look at that. Right by the 1x1. And that's all measured by your first impulse, which Can't see here right now, your second impulse right here. It's not perfect. You see that you catch some, here you didn't catch it. Support here. So this Gann grid, and you can look it up on my YouTube. I probably have videos on it, on even how to make it on Thinkorswim. But this technique is for those that don't, can't use a scale chart for whatever reason, or just having a tough time. This one is static. It's right locked on your chart. So no matter what you do to your chart, it's not going to move. It's going by the impulse. So that's one thing I like about it. Okay. Move this chart however I want, and that is locked. And now we have pulled back from there. On a scale chart, it'll be kind of different because things are, unless you can lock your chart, things will shift. Let's see, anything else here? Gap fill, yeah, that's already fill. Retracement, square of 9 angles. This is one I'm watching. Interesting. It's going to be that 444 right here. We're kind of hot chopping around here. So that one is interesting there. It looks like we could probably be finding support here, the 339. So that one I'm watching now. And let's see. Yeah, we blow through $4. I don't have anything up here. So there's something another I have to adjust here. Swing chart. So these are dates I added that I'm watching. It's going to be the 16th and the 27th. Let's go to our midpoint. The open is about to happen here. So let's look at the this is 25, this is 24. So this was the high of 2023. It was 439. We were shy off of that at 436, if I have it right. Yeah, 439 was the high of 2023. We were very close. But everything looks good. You noticed you're above all the midpoints of all the time frames. Very bullish. Looking at our monthly, pretty open air here, 436, although the mobiles are now digging into the mobiles, but nothing, nothing negative. It's all, I mean, the big retracement, if you ask me. This is the season. This is where nat gas, this is where you make the most money. Looking at the 4-hour using the weekly, now things get interesting. Extension from 2 weeks ago got you to 436, and it applied it here. We were shy at 441. We got a PPS sell signal on the 4-hour already kicked in. Mobiles are negative, so I kind of feel like if you were long from here and you got this gap open on the Sunday night session, the US Open, Sunday night open, this is where you would have gone out. Because now you fill the gap, and now the question is, the US session is about to start. Does it go back up or kind of go sideways here and then continue going lower? The key thing you want to watch is for this whole week is 372. That's your midpoint. You don't want to see this thing crack this whole week. You're getting already some signs that maybe, but you don't want to take out 371, 372. You want to at least hold that if you get all the way down here. So far, a nice pullback. The Stokes are unwinding. Now for today only, you need to hold at least 385. The hourly is mobiles are digging in. You got a PPS sell signal. And what you do, you wait for a retest and then short. Right now, you're below VWAP. And the trend on the hourly is down. You're kind of finding support at the 75, 393, but you need to hold 385. If you can't hold 385, you're definitely going to at least 368. And extreme targets, if you're short, would be anywhere between 350 and 360. You already fill the gap, so we don't got to worry about this. Now the question is, if this is the high, if a couple of the techniques and the averages was telling me that January 13 could be your pivot high and things could start escalating down, it's going to be a domino effect, sideways to lower. And if you are a bull, you would be a little concerned if you're going to start seeing that kind of price action. So far, volume is not really aggressive as what I'm seeing right now to be like, yeah, this is definitely could be a swing high. But you're kind of now back to maybe below the 1x1 or hovering around it or trying to find support. So it's very interesting where we at right now. So if you start getting lower, take out the 200 on the 4 hour, then you're back below the 1x1. And I saw some comments, and I haven't even looked at my YouTube channel, but I call it the Neo effect. Once you kiss the 1x1, it's not about, is, you know, it did blow right through it. It closed it pushed prices a push above the 1x1 from the 1002 high. But the most important thing is the close. If we get to close below the 1x1, that's when you can tell that when Neo jumped the building the first time, he fell. When that gas kisses the 1x1, could pierce it, could go even higher. But once that close is official, that it closed below the 1x1, even though it pierced it, that's what matters. Because in that chart, we're only dealing with the close. So the volatility could be crazy. The Black Widow could be just nuts, drinking wine and splashing it everywhere, back and forth. At the end of the day, it's all about the close. So I think that's it. I'm going to upload this video and then let's see what she's going to do today. But key levels to watch is all your midpoints, and you already know. And on the square of 9, if you can't keep this 401, if you're hovering around here, fine. But if you start going below the 90 degree of 391, then chances are you're going to get to 381, which is your 45. And if that doesn't hold, you go back to your zero line, which is 371. So those are your big levels. And now we could push 401, we go 411 all the way to 421. So this is the square that you want to watch right here. And that's it. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.